See you this morning, 7:30. Time to take one Thanksgiving week step towards purpose. So, I'm excited to spend a couple minutes with you here. Amanda, thanks for joining us. It's great to have you. Excuse me. And we got Annette and, oh man, Carrie Harris. Great to see him. We got Parrish, Wanda. Hi, neighbor. Kelly. This is great. So, if you want, put in the chat where you're going for Thanksgiving, and if you're staying here or staying in the Glass City, you can put, just staying around with family. Hi, Julie. Oh, great to see you. This is great. If you have a prayer request, something you would like somebody to pray for you about, I see you there, Brian. I don't have a mustache, but if you have something you would love to you would love to have people pray for, just put it right in the chat, and our team would love to. Hi, Heather. Tell Tim about that. There you go. But just put it in the chat, and our team would love to pray with you and pray for you. Oh, we got some people. M Wit 1030 just got back from. I think that's Mike White. Yes, from Florida. That's awesome. Hi, Rebecca. No place like home. Today, I want to talk about the difference between saying thanks and giving thanks, which I know some of you have heard before, or there's probably some TikTok video, Instagram quotable, or whatever. But a question that I've been thinking about is like, why is giving thanks so hard? And maybe it's not for you, but I can say thanks. What's interesting is saying thanks isn't hard, but we struggle to even say thanks to the people in our life, right? It's like I probably don't say that enough. So giving thanks, living a thankful life, or what some people would argue is the difference between being thankful and being grateful is like how we live our life. That seems a little bit more elusive. And so I've just been thinking about like, do I live a thankful life of gratitude? I try to, I think that's important. I think we all would say we're trying to. And so it's like, how do you do that? And I think for me, what I have to pay attention to is this idea. We got Bangladesh in the house. That's awesome. Welcome. But living a thankful life is hard when you're always pursuing more or what's next, right? When you've heard me say, when more drives your life, you never have enough. And I think sometimes more just drives our life. More fun, more stuff, more money, more opportunity, more challenges at work, more things around the house. I mean, think about it. Every time you get something new, a new piece of tech, a new piece of equipment, that's another thing that you have to like take care of. So, hi, Lori. I see you there. That other person wasn't Mike White then. I don't think. If you're in Palmetto, Florida, and Mike's back, then whatever. But everything you add to your life just requires more time from you. And so it's like when more drives your life, you never have enough. If you watch the show, we're in the middle of At the Movies. Some of you were thinking we were going to do maybe The Greatest Showman, which would be a great selection, by the way. It would be a great selection. Who knows? There's 2 more weeks of At the Movies. You're not going to want to miss this weekend. That'll be kind of fun. But The Greatest Showman is about P.T. Barnum. And one of the things is he starts to experience success and things start to grow and expand. It's like he gets addicted to that expansion. And there's a song in there called Never Enough, which our kids love to belt out on full volume, or they did, not so much anymore. It's like, but the lyric of that song is like, it's never enough. No matter what you accomplish, it's never enough, never enough, never, right? I think that's a dangerous place to be that makes it hard to be thankful. If you've watched Hamilton, it's not, I know I'm on to like 2 movies that are kind of like shows, right? But Alexander Hamilton, never going to be satisfied. And if you start to listen to the message around us or that inner dialogue, it's like this can really drive our life. So here's a verse to think about. Okay. Parrish is watching from South Carolina. Okay, got it. Oh, welcome to South Carolina, Parrish. Or welcome to our little thing here. 1 Timothy 6:6 says, "Godliness with contentment is great wealth." After all, we brought nothing into the world, when we came into the world. We can't take anything with us when we leave, verse 7. Verse 8. So if we have enough food and clothing, let us be content, because people who long to be rich fall into temptation and are trapped by many and foolish, harmful desires that plunge them into ruin and destruction. Maybe, maybe part of the reason life feels all messed up, not for everybody, because some of you are facing some stuff like, right, but um, that's legit, that's difficult. But maybe some of the restlessness that we see going on around us, if it's not, within you, is this idea that we just long for more. We long to be rich, whatever that definition looks like for you. And so we fall into temptation, trapped by many foolish and harmful desires that plunge us into ruin. Why? Because when more drives your life, you never have enough. So, godliness at the beginning, godliness with contentment is great wealth. What's godliness? It's reverence or trust for God, right? So, as we trust God, like that he's in control and that he's got it, then it's like, oh, okay, we could take a deep breath. And then you add to that contentment and understanding that we have what our soul needs most. If we are connected with God, then we have what our soul needs most. That's great wealth. Why? Because we brought nothing into the world and we can't take anything with us, right? We spend most of our lives trying to add more or trying to build something here that we ultimately can't take. And so, I mean, there's some elements of that that's not evil, but when that drives your life, you miss it. You miss what God has for you. The what can we take with us? You can take your spiritual being. You could take people with you, relationships with you. Those are the things that matter forever. Forever. That's why our mission is to introduce people to Jesus at Cedar Creek and the life-changing adventure with him. Why? Because we want to make heaven more full. And so, yeah, we'll use earthly things, but ultimately with a goal to help people experience who Jesus is. So this Thanksgiving, verse 8, if you have enough food and clothing, don't just say thanks, but experience it, receive contentment, live there. Because the truth is, I have more than enough food, and I have, if you talk to my wife, way more than enough clothing. And I think for most of us who are watching on our technology devices, that would be true of pretty much all of us. Pretty much all of us. People who long to be rich fall into temptation and are trapped by foolish and harmful desires that plunge you into ruin. My hope and my prayer, like if we're going to take steps towards purpose, this needs to not just be a Thanksgiving thing. This just needs to be something that we all need to be reminded of. And here's the truth: you're going to get off track. I get off track. Don't beat yourself up. Just allow this little, reminder to slip us back into that rhythm of life that God invites all of us into, trusting Him and learning how to not just say thanks but give thanks. Enjoy what's before you this Thanksgiving season, and not all of it means it's the best, but it can be but good. Don't let it, needing for it to be the best rob you of the good that's right in front of you, right? So let's not just say thanks, let's give thanks, let's give gratitude this weekend. As I was, finishing up my thoughts for this morning, giving gratitude. Do you know where that word gratitude comes from? The root word of that is gratis. Gratis is about grace. It's funny that living a life of gratitude is really about knowing how to receive God's grace and therefore dispense or live from that grace. Be a gracious person, understanding that you and I have been given exactly what we do not deserve. And so we don't have to run around demanding that everybody or life give us exactly what we deserve. God's already done it for us. And so we get to share that with others. And so my hope is that contentment is the theme of it's the theme of the month for Cedar Creek kids. It's tough to teach kids this. So Brian, thanks for doing that. I love that. And let's make that our prayer this morning, that we would be reminded of God's grace and that we would live a life of grace or gratitude this season. God, thank you for every person that's watching, wherever they're watching from. Thanks for the way that you bring people together through technology. And God, I pray that this Thanksgiving, we wouldn't just say thanks, that it wouldn't just be a seasonal thing, but that we would live a life of godliness and contentment, that we would understand that your grace is great wealth, that we would be reminded that we brought nothing into the world. And so we can't take anything with us. So let us not get caught up in the temptation of letting more drive our life, and instead help us to see where you're at work and to join you in that. Thank you for every person that's watching, and may we all remember you and enjoy each other this Thanksgiving season. And thanks for the way that you were very generous with us. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Thanks, y'all. Happy Thanksgiving. Can't wait to enjoy some time with my extended family and friends. Going to be smoking a turkey. So hopefully you have a great Thanksgiving season too. Thanks as always for spending time here. If it's helpful, share with your friends. All right. Hit the little share button, text it or whatever. And I'll see you this weekend as we continue at the movies. See ya.